You are listening to a pleasure podcast. For more from our Sex Podcast Collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.
Welcome back to Private Parts Unknown, a podcast about love and sexuality around the world. I'm Courtney Kocak, and today, Privates, we are getting our MILF on with Rae Richmond. She is a 57-year-old former corporate executive who has become a super successful OnlyFans model. I am talking through the roof. And she gives us the skinny on her whole journey to becoming a self-made porn star. She tells us about her previous marriages, getting sober, meeting a younger man who convinced her to start on OnlyFans. And she also talks about getting outed in her small town, which is my freaking nightmare. The reactions from her friends and family and how she navigated all that. I mean, this woman is the ultimate entrepreneur, like many sex workers and people who work in the adult industry. And of course, there are some super savvy strategies and systems to back that up. It also inspired her to start a coaching business, which is part of how she decided to leave her corporate job and go full-time on OnlyFans. And we also talk about one of my favorite guilty pleasure topics, plastic surgery. Rae is writing a memoir, which we connected on. I mean, this conversation is so much fun, and Rae is full of surprises. And oh my God, does she have the sexiest accent ever. So you are going to love this episode, I promise you. Let's dive in with Rae Richmond.
Hi, I'm Rae Richmond, top OnlyFans model, and I am excited to be here and talk to you today.
I am so excited to talk to you. You have such an interesting story. Give everybody like the top line. You're an OnlyFans model. I think your moniker is like the Midlife MILF. Is that right?
The Midlife MILF, the MILF next door. Yeah, that's kind of my thing. It's very crazy because I'm 57 and started this at 56. And it went crazy.
It's incredible.
It went crazy really fast. It's insane. My life has gotten insane in the past year in such a good way.
I mean, it started so normal, right? You like met your husband at 18. You were in the corporate world. So tell us a little bit about your background before OnlyFans.
Oh my goodness. I was about as normal as it gets. Just your average everyday person working in corporate America. I have 2 grown children, one in their 30s and one in their late 20s. And, I was married a couple times. I was married 3 times in total. And I just kind of really thought that my life was pretty much over. It's really funny. I saw this thing today on Facebook, and it was this woman who swam this 30-mile swim. And the article mentioned her weight. She weighed over 200 pounds. Her age, she was 55. The fact that she was a grandmother, but didn't say her name. So someone added the name and said,
Oh
you
God.
forgot the most important part. Congratulations. So it was kind of like that. Like you feel marginalized. You feel like it's over. You're just going to park in the rocking chair and you're going to just like, in my case, be miserable for the rest of your life. So I decided to get a divorce.
But that's not what happened.
No, it's not what happened. My ex-husband, bless his heart, he remarried pretty quickly. And I'm happy that he did because, he's happy and he's in love. And I think that's wonderful. We were friends, but there wasn't anything really romantic between us. And again, I didn't have sex for years. Like it was not a thing that we did. And so I got a divorce and I thought, this can't be all there is to life. I can be miserable alone, but this is just like 2 strangers on opposite ends of this big sectional couch, not even communicating. So we got a divorce and I started to take better care of myself. I stopped drinking. I'm almost 2 years sober. And so I stopped drinking. Thank you. August 12th, 22 is my sobriety date. And in the course of getting sober, I met this man who is 20 years younger than me. And he is just beautiful inside and out. And so, of course, I thought he was the hottest thing ever. But I thought there's no way this guy could be interested in me because what you see before you now is kind of a transformation that had not yet taken place. I was 55 when we met, and my hair was long like it is, but it was silver. It was all gray, And,
Uh-huh.
I hadn't had any of the work done. I don't know if you've read my story that I had a bunch of work done. And so anyway, we
Oh
started,
no.
yeah, the Sun actually ran a big piece on that with pictures and everything, like my
Oh my
surgical
goodness.
pictures. So I'm very open about it. But anyway, none of that had happened at that point. So, we became friends and we had lunch one day and he said, "The next time I see you, I'm going to kiss you." And I was like, "You're like, what?" Like, of course, I'm in my head. I'm like literally palms sweaty. What just happened? And so he did, and a whole lot more than that, too. And we were extremely
Oh my
compatible,
goodness.
and we started getting absolutely crazy. And I just found a side to me that I didn't even know was in there. And he brought it out. And so when we started filming it, he kind of made an offhanded comment and said, "There's sites people would pay to see this." And I mean, I knew what they were,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, "Oh, nobody's going to want to see that." At that time, I was 56. He's like, "Baby, the way you do it, everybody's going to want to see it." So I started researching it. I mean, I'm a businesswoman. That's what I do. And what
Uh-huh.
I found was the mature market's huge. And
Yeah.
I did my research. I planned my launch, chose my stage name and my little corner of the market very carefully. And I launched last May. I've been in this for a year, which is insane because so much has happened since then.
So how did the launch go?
Wild.
I mean, obviously it's going
Wild.
very well, right?
Yes.
If we're talking a year
Hmm.
later and you've had all these major articles
Yes.
written about
Yes.
you and yeah.
It's gone wild. Yes.
Okay, would you, the 18-year-old version of yourself when you met your ex-husband, like would that girl have any idea that this would be in your future?
Oh, absolutely not. That girl was so insecure. If someone, the first troll on the internet, listen, I mean, my Instagram following's pretty decent size, not in terms of like the big creators. Like, someone looked at me and said, "Well, you are a big creator." But my Instagram's 203,000. It's not like ginormous compared to these millions.
That's pretty big.
Well,
Yeah.
I get haters. I mean, I get people, telling
Yeah,
me,
that's how you know
"Granny,
you're
yeah,
succeeding.
Granny, go back to the nursing home." And I mean, that 18-year-old girl would have absolutely dissolved in a puddle of tears, taken down everything, and never ever thought about doing it again. And now I'm like, I don't care. Like, I
That was
literally
a
don't
middle
care.
finger.
Yeah, I literally don't care because they don't pay my bills. And,
Uh-huh.
enough people think I'm hot that it makes me a lot of money. So the ones who don't, I don't care about.
Amazing. So with that kiss, that first kiss, I mean, is that kind of what reawoken or had you already been kind of getting your groove back at that point? Or was that like, oh, my sexuality has been dormant, this whole time?
Well, there's only been a few times in my life when I've ever really been in a relationship where I was even, sexual, I would say, wanting to
Uh-huh.
dress up in lingerie, wanting to really like kind of be a little
Right.
crazy. One time was probably it was in my late 20s, and then another time in my 30s. And until then, and we're talking 20 plus years, it's been dormant. I mean, let's just be honest. I have a very healthy sex life with myself and have since a very young
Uh-huh.
age.
Uh-huh.
So that's going to be in my book. My book is quite shocking with my description of how all that came to be. But
Oh.
yeah, I started early and I've enjoyed that my entire life. So I mean, I love the feeling. I love sex. I love erotica. I love porn. I mean, I've always kind of visualized myself doing that while I'm having sex. That's like what I'm doing, performing for,
Totally. Oh my God,
yeah,
me too.
the
Yes.
audience in your head, right? So, I knew it was in me, but as far as letting anyone else see it, it was kind of like I had to think, and I'm a thinker. I mean, I really thought long and hard. People are like, "I can't believe you did this." But Courtney, I thought about this. I thought about this from every angle. Like, they're either going to laugh me off the internet, right? Nobody's going to want to see it. They're going to laugh me off the internet. I'm not going to make any money. I'm going to run, back to doing whatever I was doing. Or, I'm going to make some money. I never imagined it was going to do what it did. I'll just be honest. I never had a clue it was going to do what it did. But I knew that it could go either way, and I had to be okay with either thing.
Uh-huh.
So it had to come to a point where, like, I'm sure you've probably heard about my story about people outing me and, my
Uh-huh.
hometown and how they reacted. Well, you'll be happy to know some of those folks have actually come back made amends. We're friends again.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was really, I could cry talking about it honestly because these are people that were lifelong friends. And so we've come to an understanding. They still don't agree with my lifestyle, but they love me. And so we're cool. But what that reaction was is the reaction I
Yeah.
still get from a lot of people. But you have to be okay with that. So after analyzing all of that, coming to terms with that, it had to be, I'm okay for this to come out. Because even though Rae Richmond is a stage name, obviously, for safety reasons, again, it's not because I'm ashamed of what I do. It's because there's some
Uh-huh.
crazy people out there, let's be honest. So it is a stage name, but I'm recognizable. People know my face. And when it
Yeah,
started
yeah.
coming out, Huffington Post, News Nation, like Yahoo, BuzzFeed, all the things,
Yeah, everybody reads
yeah, they
those.
started sending me
Yeah.
messages saying, "Oh my God, somebody's using your pictures. Like somebody has hacked you and stolen your pictures and they're pretending to be you and they're doing this." And I'm like, "Well, actually, it's actually me. And yes, and here's what I'm doing." So I think my attitude toward it being, this is what I'm doing, not, "Oh my God, you found me out," but this is
Yeah.
what I'm doing. I'm okay with it. I hope you're okay with it. But if you're not, mm,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah. I love that. And I feel like that kind of mature mentality, like that's part of the benefit of doing it at this age where it doesn't totally throw you off your rocker. Even, I also have an OnlyFans. I'm 40 right now. It just would have been different and maybe not as positive in a lot of ways if I would have done it in my 20s. I don't know. I'll never know. But yeah, it's interesting. So, okay. I heard that before you were doing OnlyFans, you were in corporate America. Is that right?
Yes, I was.
So when did you make the switch? When were you confident enough to be like, okay, I am going to go all in on OnlyFans?
Well, I've been all in on OnlyFans for a while, but the thing about it is I was fortunate enough to work from home, so I was able to spend hours
Oh,
before work and hours after work and still do my I loved my corporate career. I was a senior manager for a major medical company, large international company, and I ran a few departments there for them, and so I loved what I did. I think the mindset of my generation is you work for the man, you get your 401k, you do all these things. And so the
uh-huh.
mindset, it was a little hard for me to let go of. I've always been entrepreneurial. I've always had businesses doing this and that on the side. But, when I launched my creator course in December, that added another level. I do private coaching.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
so it just came to the point to where, listen, I'm way out earning already on my OnlyFans and on my course and my coaching and all this stuff. Like, how much more could I evolve this if I put the time I'm putting into work into that? So it's been a few months now that I went completely all in. Should have done it sooner because it's really just been even more phenomenal. So,
Amazing. It's nice when, yeah, the money tells you it's time.
right, for sure. Yes.
I guess let's first talk about the getting outed a little bit because I feel like, yeah, so unfortunate.
Well, there were a few pieces to that, and one was the private messages that I was getting from people close to me, and the other was the very public posting of my real name, tagging my real name
Oh,
and my stage name in posts together saying, if you want to know what she's like, this, go look up this. And it was just like on the social media where my children, where my elderly relatives are,
uh-huh.
this was just someone who I don't even really know that well. I mean, we went to the same school 40 years ago. I'm out 40 years now. So why she felt like she needed to do that, I'll never know. But that day is when, in my little hometown of almost 5,000 people, that's when people really started. Like they were making posts and they were taking sides. And it was hurtful because people who I had been friends with for years, acquaintances
Mm-hmm.
now I know, were dogging me out and they had no idea what I was doing. I was getting supportive messages, but the people who were being supportive were afraid to do it publicly. A few of them did, but
Mm-hmm.
they didn't want the mob coming after them. And I completely get that. And then you've got the
Yeah.
people who I was close to who came to me privately. And that was probably more hurtful, definitely, because like I said, I explained why. I explained my reasoning. It wasn't something I just flew off and did. Cam and I are
Mhm.
both sober, and they were saying things like he must have drugged me or things like that. Like
Mhm.
I couldn't possibly, as an empowered
Just
woman,
want to.
make the
Yeah.
decision to show my naughty bits to the world. Now I've realized kind of the parallel for me is I like to say, for me, it's like watching me brush my teeth. Like, it's not
Mhm.
that big a deal anymore to me for people to watch my intimate moments. I mean, I'm a performer. I've always been a performer. It's just been on a different level. So some people do karaoke, some people do themselves with a vibrator for people to watch. It's just, it's completely the same to me.
It's just like almost everyone consumes porn, so it's crazy to me that people don't recognize that, like, yeah, somebody makes that. That is somebody's
Yes,
job.
yes,
That they don't just live on another planet.
right, exactly.
So, I heard you on a podcast, and at that point your daughter knew, but your son didn't. Has that changed?
He does know. My daughter is my biggest cheerleader. I won't say biggest fan because she's never
That's
seen
so
anything but
sweet.
my public Instagram and never will. But my son is happy for me and supportive of me being happy. A
Uh-huh.
funny thing about my son, I think he had a bigger problem with Cam being a year older than him. As a matter
Oh,
of fact,
yeah.
when I told him and I had the conversation with him, my son was like, "Oh, thank God you just do porn. I thought you were going to tell me you were getting married." He's so funny. He is so funny. But, it has put a strain on our relationship
Oh,
because mostly, and this is purely my speculation, is because of the other people in his life, maybe his family members. He doesn't
right.
have children. I'm not a grandma, though people like to call me grandma. That's, whatever. I laugh and say Cam could be a grandparent, and he's 37, so that's not the insult they think it is. But,
Right.
I feel like it's probably outside influences, but at the heart, he's happy that I'm happy, and he's proud of my success.
It's nice too that, it's just out and you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yes,
I don't know.
it is.
It is time to make a move, privates. That is right. Love to Play is the biggest online gaming destination, and they have opened up 500 more exclusive slots so you can experience the excitement of Vegas anytime you want. Picture the thrill of Vegas right at your fingertips, wherever you are. Whether you're unwinding at home, on the go, or even during a work break, Love to Play has a game that's perfect for you. With themed slot games that whisk you away to magical worlds and classic games that offer that authentic Vegas feel, Love to Play has it all. But it's not just about the games. At Love to Play, you'll join a lively, inclusive community where you can make lasting friendships and create unforgettable memories. With exclusive bonuses and new rewards every day, the biggest wins and the best times are just a click away. Start playing today and feel the rush of Vegas at your fingertips. Turn your downtime into fun time by visiting Love to Play. That is LUVE, the number 2, PLAY, and claim 50 free spins. That is exclusively for the first 500 Private Parts Unknown listeners using promo code PRIVATE on their first deposit. So tell your friends and your family and don't miss out on your biggest payday yet. The adventure awaits at Love to Play, where you can find excitement in every day. I am feeling lucky, private, so head on over to Love to Play. Check out more info in the episode description. So, what kind of content do you make? And can I just say, I heard you talking about filming at a sex store
Yes.
where you went down on Cam and then he fucked you. Same sex store visit.
Yes.
Sounded very hot and like a special treat for those employees.
Oh, yeah.
Is that your regular kind of content?
We're wild. Oh, absolutely. The thing about
Oh,
OnlyFans, though,
wow.
you can't put public on OnlyFans, so that's on my Fansly. But I've had a few things that OnlyFans smack me on the nose for and won't let me put on there, in fact, because I'm a
Uh-huh.
little extreme sometimes. I mean, I have a wide variety of things that I do. I mean, I love to dress up in lingerie and high heels but I'll get tied up and have a ball gag in my mouth. And there's one discipline video that OnlyFans called illegal activity. But because there was a point at which I said, no, no, stop, and he didn't.
Oh,
But I mean, it was totally consensual, and I already told him like
right.
that's not the safe word. You keep going. But we had to take it off OnlyFans, and it's on my Fansly also. But we do everything. I do anal. I love to give head. It's my specialty. It goes all the way down with ease, and I love every second of it. I love a messy facial. My new fuck machine is for VIP only. I have two OnlyFans accounts now. Yeah,
Oh,
I have two, and one is VIP, and that's all content included for one price. And they get the fuck machine, which is the difference between the classic account and the VIP. So I did a
yes.
tentacle video with my fuck machine this past week that was really hot.
Oh my goodness. That sounds like an incredible range.
Yes, there's a lot. Something for everyone.
So you've been on OnlyFans a little over a year. What have you learned in that first year? Like, how do you crush it so hard? Give us a little bit of your blueprint.
So the beginning, I had no idea what I was doing. I started following some of the bigger creators and I started watching what they did. I saw some things that I thought I really wanted to do, like on their social media, and something that I wasn't crazy about. So I just started trying some different things. And so I think that's why I started my course, to be honest, because my background is corporate training. That was one of my last departments that I ran
Uh-huh.
was the training department. And there's so much bad advice out there, Courtney. I swear it's on purpose. Like there's so many things in these groups. I think they're trying to get the competition to go away because they tell people these things that are so dumb to
Oh.
do. Anyway, back to answer your question. I just did trial and error. And once I figure out a system and it works, I keep doing it as long as it works and expand on it. So,
Uh-huh.
for example, my formula on my Instagram is pretty much lingerie and bikini. I do
Uh-huh.
videos of me, doing other things, making breakfast or dancing or whatever. But the things that get me the biggest hits are lingerie and bikini. So I stick with that. I am going
Uh-huh.
live on platforms like TikTok and Clapper, but I don't do anything off platform naked. I do have a YouTube
Uh-huh.
channel now that's transparent. Sheer try-ons, which is a big thing right now in the creator world. I just launched
Oh.
that, and YouTube is actually allowing that if you're doing it not for sexual gratification, but to show off those
Oh, of
clothes.
course
Wink,
not.
wink. Right. So as long as I'm, doing it to show someone how to clean my mirror, it doesn't matter that I'm in a thong with my ass up in the air with a sheer dress over it. So I'm showing
It's just your
how-to
cleaning
videos.
outfit.
Exactly,
Yeah.
how-to videos. So I keep evolving, but I also make sure that I still do the same things. Like I'll never use a chatter. I don't no shade against someone who does. To me, my subs can tell when they're talking to me. I have a very specific
Uh-huh.
style. I like to send them little voice clips. I like to do extra
Oh.
things. I post content every single day. It's usually multiple pictures and some short video clips. And then on the classic, it's pay-per-view, obviously, but new releases a few times a week on both accounts. And I just keep doing it. Like I'm never going to fall off. I went on vacation, my content was scheduled. I was sick, I just am getting over shingles right now. My content is scheduled. Like I'm still
Uh-huh.
doing the deal. It doesn't matter if the walls fall down around me, my content is going to get scheduled because I'm not falling off. So that's my advice is
That's smart.
consistency. Yes.
So you actually teach this stuff now. Tell us about this private coaching and your creator course and what people can learn from you.
So the Creator Success course is actually 20 modules, and it's about to be 21 because I'm adding a separate Fansly module, and then a coaching group that comes with that. And the coaching group is where you can actually ask questions to me and also
Uh-huh.
network with other models. And it covers everything from creator safety, producing your content, talking about piracy and how to protect your content from that, how to
Uh-huh.
determine, your little corner, your niche of the market, how to actually edit videos. Like I'll do a screen recording of me editing a video or showing them how to
Oh,
make
I love
a
that.
blurred preview teaser clip and just all the things that you don't go into this knowing. And I'm adding to it constantly. It's lifetime updates. I'm really passionate about the course. I think it's very much needed, and it's a reasonable price point too. I've got it on sale for $2.99 right now. with the code. So yeah, I think that for that, and you get the coaching group, and then the private coaching is actually one-on-one, and I do that in blocks. 3 months is the minimum block I like to book because I really want to dig in there. I want to do account analysis. I want to show what I'm doing. I want to watch what they're doing over the time
Uh-huh.
that we're working together and then provide my input on how I think we can tweak that. Because, this one girl I've got that I'm meeting with after this, she's killing it. And what I love is she's in her
Oh,
50s also. And you
nice.
know what? She's killing it. And there's been a couple of people, and she's one of them that they saw me, and that made their, side come out, and they felt like, you know what, they can do it too. And that makes my heart happy because I love that. She's beautiful. All the ladies in my group are beautiful, and I absolutely love every single one of them. So we work together one on one, and if something's not working, I'm always evolving. So I'm always testing,
Uh-huh.
like I'm testing some new things on my Instagram. So I'm not going to say, hey, go try that. I'm going to try it first, and then I'm going to tell you if it worked or not. So
Right.
yeah, I'm kind of the guinea pig
Yeah.
for myself and then them.
I totally get that. I teach writing too, and I love it. It actually helps me continue to evolve and work on my own craft. So,
Oh,
yeah, I
nice.
think teaching can be awesome in that way. Let's talk about, if you don't mind, I didn't know about this work done. You look amazing. You looked amazing before. What did you learn? Like, are you happy with everything you did, and how did it go?
I'm so happy. Yeah, well, I planned this before I ever started OnlyFans. I said when I get to the
Oh,
point
really?
where, I mean, I'm no stranger. I had a tummy tuck and a boob job in '98, so I'm not a stranger to cosmetic procedures. And I knew that there would come a time, genetically, my family has the neck thing going on,
Oh my
and
god, the
yeah,
neck.
girl, it
Oh,
was awful. So, when I got to be about 55, I started looking around. And then, when I launched OnlyFans, it was going so well. I was like, oh, you know what? I bet I could do even more. It's not the reason I did it. And it's not. Cam is also, people think it was Cam, but he loved me before. We met when I was, before. So I had a deep plain face and neck lift, upper and lower eyelid lift, and then I had fat grafting to my cheeks. And I had that
it
done last
looks
July.
fucking
Thank you.
incredible.
And then I had a BBL 3 weeks later.
Oh, wow. How was the healing from that?
Painful. It was painful. Very painful. That was worse. I think the fact that I did them so close together, when I had to lay face down, this was still healing, so it all swelled up. I
Oh,
was like, what have I done? Because like everything was huge. My head looked like a pumpkin while I was healing from the BBL, but it was all that fluid not having any place to go. So yeah, if I would recommend to someone, I would recommend they wait at least 3 months to let this part heal before you do the other.
yeah. I follow this account, Beauty Broker Official, and the facelifts on there are so fucking incredible. I'm like, yes, that is also on my radar in my 50s. Any tips on that, or just like,
Well, I think you're doing your research already, so that would be my main tip is make sure that you like the work of the surgeon. My surgeon is amazing. He's right here in Tampa, which is crazy because I would have gone anywhere. I was looking at people in California, other parts of Florida, Texas. This
uh-huh.
man is 30 minutes from my house and he is a fucking artist. And so I actually now talk to prospective patients for him if they have qualms about it. Get on a video chat with them, let them look at my scars, let them see, this
Mhm.
jawline that I got going on now. And I'm, like I said, I'm 57. I do take care of my skin. I stay out of the sun. I wear sunscreen. I'm the palest person in Florida, and I'm okay with that. But you know what? It's an investment that I'm protecting here. So I would recommend that you definitely do it. I'll give you my guy's name. He's amazing, and he's
Uh-huh.
young too. Yeah,
Amazing.
he's like 38, so he'll be around when you're ready.
Awesome. Okay, I love that. And then I guess kind of lastly, you're writing a book. So tell us about this book.
So the book is going to be called No Expiration Date, the Rae Richmond story. It's going to
Yes.
take you through my life, all of my insecurities. I developed an eating disorder at 23 that I suffered with for 17 years.
Oh
My
goodness.
alcoholism, just the struggles of a woman who then comes to
Yeah.
a place of empowerment where I just completely decided to flip the fucking script. And so that's where we're at now. The script is flipped. I'm not flipping it back. I'm going to do what I'm going to do my next phase, people always ask me, how long are you going to do this? As long as I fucking feel like it. I don't know. Like, as long as people want to keep watching me get hammered, I don't know,
Yes.
because the mature market is huge, and there's a lot of creators a lot older than me out there getting plowed. So,
I love it. I can't wait to read it. You truly are an inspiration, and I just love the whole mindset of it. Just like, I'm going to write my own rules. I don't need to live by whatever patriarchal standards. I think it's awesome. Is there anything else you would like to say to the privates before we wrap?
I'm just so thankful to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I love to be able to share my story because people think porn star and they hear 57. They
Mhm.
don't know what I'm like. They don't know my personality, even people that see social media. And it's just really cool to be able to be here and share. And if you haven't seen my content, come see me on OnlyFans, Rae Richmond and Rae Richmond VIP. And if you want to see the hard stuff, come to Fansly because that's where the hard stuff is. So yeah, thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I just love to hear a 57-year-old woman making her own rules, not giving a shit what anybody else thinks, and just having so much fun with it. So thank you for all of that, Rae, and thank you for coming on the show, and thank you for tuning into this episode of Private Parts Unknown. Stay tuned right here. I have got another sexy episode coming your way next week. For the latest episodes, look down and make sure you're following us on your favorite podcast player now. To stay in touch between episodes, follow me at Courtney Kocak, that is Kocak, on Instagram and Twitter. And follow the show at Private Parts Unknown on Instagram and at Private Parts Un on Twitter. And hey, baby, I am shamelessly trying to hit the top 1% on OnlyFans, always and forever. So if you are interested in a Playboy-style peek behind the podcast, you can subscribe to my OnlyFans account. It is onlyfans.com/CocoPeepShow. It is a very horny way to help support the show. So again, if you are interested, do not hesitate to join me over at onlyfans.com/CocoPeepShow. And of course, subscribe to our newsletter, which is privatepartsunknown.substack.com. There is a link for that in the episode description. And subscribe to the Private Parts Unknown YouTube channel for the video version of a bunch of episodes. The audio episodes also automatically update over there. So if you want to check that out, it is youtube.com/privatepartsunknown. Again, youtube.com/privatepartsunknown. And check out my other podcasts for more of my audio creations. I have The Bleeders about book writing and publishing, and Podcast Bestie, which is a best friend to podcasters trying to grow and monetize their shows. Shout out to Amy Rausch for the bomb-ass theme music. For more info about Amy and her music, check out amyrausch.com. That is Amy, RAASCH.com. This episode was mixed by my beloved audio guy, Michael Castaneda of Plastic Audio. And after enjoying this content, could we ask you for a quick favor? Just go to ratethispodcast.com/private and give us a 5-star rating and review. It helps other people find the show. It makes me feel amazing. And it is super easy peasy to do. If you are listening on Spotify, just go to our page, go to the little 3-dot hamburger sign, click that, click rate show, give us those 5 stars, and voila, you have just made my day. And no matter where you are listening, you can rate and review the show by going to ratethispodcast.com/private and giving us a 5-star rating and review. I would love to read a review, a glowing review on the next episode. So please head on over to ratethispodcast.com/private. Oh, and there is one more way you can help support the show. We are now on the Fountain app, so if you are listening on Fountain or another V4V platform and you get value from this show, you can support us by sending a boostagram, and you can even send a comment along with your boost. And I have to say, those are my favorite messages to get because they come with a little bit of Bitcoin. Thank you so much for sticking with me until the end. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. Love you, privates.